So since we're doing this new series, Bodybuilding Made Easy, since you're an Olympia level bodybuilder, right?
Get outta here.
Listen, now you're running businesses. I think this is a great opportunity. This wasn't planned, you didn't know, but today we want to see a day in the life, training quads.
Yeah.
How you juggle
day in the life.
Running two companies.
So Dal's coming with
me. Family. Not day in the life. Day in the life at the gym. At the gym.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Mariah's got a bunch of questions prepared for you, and we're gonna see how you.
This is off the cuff.
How you juggle family, the kids, running Elevate, and we did just start Elevate, so that was a juggle.
For sure.
Previously, you were always bodybuilding though, and just like you're basically training online clients, right? You had control over your day.
Yeah.
But now with how fast Elevate's grown, you have two kids. Like that's got to be really.
Don't touch that.
That's got to be really challenging now.
I mean, you would have the same answer. I think it's just you have to have the right people in place.
The right team,
you know
right?
what I mean? Like, you have a good partner, you have good business partners, and you just take things like one step at a time. I think like when I do come to the gym, and I don't know if you're like this, but like I don't look at my emails or phone or at anything at all. I just do like knock off one thing at a time, and just like it's busy, but it's still better than like working a 9 to 5 like for somebody else. You still have your own schedule, even though it's like way more work. It's like on your own time.
Would you find prepping now easier, being like busy with family and like businesses, like occupying, taking up more of your time?
Yeah.
Or do you find it was easier before when your day was just like revolved around just prep, waiting for your next meal?
I think looking back, it seems like it would be a lot easier, but still even then it was hard. You just hear it like able to evolve. Like you just add something else and it's like you keep that spinning, and then you add something else, you keep that spinning at the same time.
As I got like busier, it felt easier because time went by faster because you were occupied with work. There was times like years and years ago when I just owned a nutrition store. Like when I owned the nutrition stores, for example.
Yeah.
I didn't have that many responsibilities, so I would sit there, I would eat, and I would be looking at the clock. When's my next meal? And I'm hungry.
Yeah, that's fair.
But now that like we're so stimulated, like, between all the businesses, texting each other, dealing with this, dealing with that, putting on a fire over here, it's a little easier to get through the day.
Yeah.
You know?
And it all lends to the same thing, right? The gym business, the food business, supplement business, but then the training, it all like encompasses that lifestyle. Yeah. And I think if you lose like your diet and your training, then it's like every other aspect of your life starts to fall apart, like the business side. I think a lot of people make the mistake of like they bodybuild, but they don't like continue to move their life forward. So it's like they're kind of holding everything back until they're done bodybuilding, and then at that point it's like hard to kind of catch up back up to speed, where like you got to have some kind of traction going in like positive direction outside of bodybuilding.
Balance your life with different. Yeah, because you see it often where like a lot of athletes, not just in bodybuilding, but they're all in, and you have to be all in when you are like doing any high level sport, but then when that's over or it's time to retire, struggling to find their purpose, or because that's all they knew. All right guys, so today is Wednesday and today is chest day. I'm gonna show you guys how I keep things simple because I'm on a busy schedule. So we're gonna be doing 4 exercises for chest today. They'll all be different angles, targeting different parts of the chest. We're gonna start today with the Gymco flat chest press. I love this machine. It's one of my favorites. It's actually a new design. They made a couple tweaks to it with the handles a little bit wider. It converges really nice. I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks. Really like this machine. It's very smooth, gets a great contraction, really gets you opened up. Probably 4 sets here once we're warmed up. Pretty cool today because Blake is here as well, and we're maybe going to show you guys some of Blake's workout over there too, doing quads, because I've been really impressed because seeing Blake, working with Blake, I've known him. I was actually his first coach, so I've known him since probably 2011. I started coaching him probably like 2015. Anyways, just seeing him grow. He's already competed at the Olympia before, but now he has 2 kids, 2 businesses that he's heavily involved in and running on a day-to-day basis. And so it's interesting to see how he fits everything into his day, which I know he's very, very scheduled. Yeah, so we'll see, maybe ask him some questions, sort of ties into this series. So we've done a couple warm-up sets, so now we're gonna start with our first set. What I like about this machine is that it starts pretty wide, which gets the chest in good length. And then you'll see as I press through the movement, it converges, which the actual function of the chest muscle to get contracted is bringing your humerus across your chest. So coming across, so when you converge, bicep humerus is coming across, which is shortening the pec, which is gonna get you a really good contraction. It's essentially the muscle being shortened. So like think of an easy way to understand this is like a bicep, right? Your biceps in length and it's shortened, contracted, right? Same thing with a pec. So like this would be in length, this would be shortened, contracted. So the easiest way for a lot of people to understand that, length, shortened, contracted. Same thing with the chest. So right now, it would be like that arm being opened up, right? Like I showed you in the bicep. So our chest is in length right now. It's being stretched. Then as we press in, our humerus, our biceps, are gonna come across, converging, and we're shortening and contracting the pecs. That's all really, when you're doing exercises, what you're focused on. You're lengthening and shortening the muscle under tension. And the first thing I think about when I'm here is not pushing, moving my hands. It's actually moving my humerus, like my biceps. A lot of people focus here. You want to be in your biceps, the first thing that moves. And it's really, really important that you're really under a lot of control and you're focused. When you're in length, this is like one of the most beneficial parts of the movement, that you don't bounce out of the hole, drive out. You're really putting a lot of emphasis and tension under the muscle here. And don't rush it, take your time. A lot of people are just in a rush or just thinking about getting here, where a lot of the benefit in the exercise is actually when you're in that length and you are being stretched. Something to think about too, you know, when you're in our gym, there's tons of variety, and I know most gyms don't have this much variety. When you are training to like build muscle, I think it's important to like pick exercises and spend enough time with them. So sometimes I especially notice it here because there is so much variety. I see a lot of people bouncing around and every week doing something new. Where I do feel there's a lot of benefit when you spend a couple weeks with a particular machine or exercise and get better at it and get good with it. As the weeks go on, you get a little bit more connected with it. You understand how to stimulate the muscle a little bit better. You don't always have to be increasing weight. You could just do the weight you did last week, but do it better. You know, maybe slow it down. There's many ways to get better at an exercise. Take your time, don't rush. Get really good at that exercise. If I do 4 exercises in a movement, I'll usually pick 3 exercises and I'll do those 3 for say 4 to 6 weeks. And my 4th exercise, I kind of leave as like one that I can swap out and pick something new and throw it in and mix it up to get some variety.
Current routine right now. For bodybuilding specifically, I'm in my off season. It's a lot of food. It's eating 5-6 times a day. So for me, the preparation piece, I completely gave to Prep Shop. So Prep Shop is in the Markham area. They handle all my protein, because just the cooking time and like preparation, it goes behind meals. Like I used to do that forever, but now it's like I had to find out things that like not are worth my time, but like I can fit into my schedule comfortably, and that's just not one of those things anymore. So wake up, get meal 1 in, and then it's like right to work. Sarah takes the kids, she does all that kind of stuff, and then I go straight through until I train. You know, obviously I gotta get like a hard training session in, but I try and get like the bulk of my work done in the morning. So for me, I found like it's best if I have earlier morning and like earlier night instead of like trying to stay up late, because just for myself personally, I don't work very well at night. So I get up early, try and get my work out of the way, get a good workout in. And honestly, like when it comes to timing and bodybuilding, it's like, can you get the amount of food that you need in, and can you train hard, and can you do that over a long stretch of time? Something I attribute to being positive for me is consistency. Day in, day out, meal after meal, and then a hard training session. It's fitting like everything around that, but I've kind of developed a system because I've been doing it for so long, like that, like the meals and stuff are just like something that I'm doing day to day anyway. And then the work, obviously the family life and stuff on top of that, it's just can all be fit in around that.
So something else to keep in mind, just for like more like longevity purposes, and something I wish I would have adopted a long time ago, was if you look at my sets now, you know, I had my first working set on here and there was a lot less weight on there. And you look at my top set, which is going to be this set I'm about to perform, the form should look very similar. Just because I have heavier weight on, my tempo is not going to change. I'm not going to start throwing other muscles into it. The execution of the movement is the same whether there's 300 pounds on the exercise or there's 225 pounds on the exercise.
Obviously, I'm training at Pure Athletic Club today. It's the second workout I've had ever up here. It's an incredible space. They have tons of equipment, tons of brands I don't typically get to try. Like they have all the new tech stuff here. So yesterday I did a chest day, did a ton of new tech equipment. Today I'm gonna try the Gym Laco stuff, because at home, like where I'm traditionally training, they don't have many of these pieces, including this one. And today I'm just doing like a quick quad workout, trying to do a couple of really intense sets and then get out of here, because we're like on a mini vacation right now, cottage kind of thing. So
Our last exercise was a flat press. We moved on to an incline press. I really like this machine. I'm gonna probably be aiming for a little bit lower reps here. On the other machine, I was doing reps of 12. My last set, I think I did 10 or 11. Here, probably be more like 8 to 10 reps. This will be, I'll do one more set after this. I'll probably do 2 sets with 4 plates. Yeah, it's a great smooth machine. Again, this one converges. It's really good. Adam was just saying this is one of your favorite, right? Yeah, so people seem to really like this one. It's really simple and effective. On this machine, it looks like, oh my gosh, it's a crazy amount of weight. But the weight distribution on machines, because it's loaded back here, it's actually lighter. If that 4 plates was loaded here, it would be like way heavier. For those people who have big egos and like to load lots of plates, this is one that you can really load it up. It's not why I like it. I just like the feel of it. It's really smooth. He just said the same weight as me, but look at the way he does it. And look at the way I did it. It's a good example of what we were talking about with ego lifting. Yeah. Adam loves this one because he can do.
I can pretend like I'm strong.
Yeah. 2, 3, good. 4, come on. 6, you got 2 more. I'm gonna help you. Come on. So my last set there was 4 plates and I got 10 reps. I felt like I could go a little bit heavier, but I might be a little bit fatigued because that last set. So we'll see. I'll aim for like 6 to 8 here.
This year, having my daughter, I decided that right off the bat I was going to take the whole year off. That also lended me to like having an extended off season where I can make improvements. I think a lot of guys make mistakes by like just doing show after show after show. 2023, I took an entire year off, and 2024 I had like my best package ever. So I think taking this entire year, coming back after a full year is going to be really beneficial for me. My outlook on competing now has changed. I want to do some more like bucket list shows. I'm like starting to kind of get to the end of my competitive career. So I do want to do the Arnold. You have to apply for it, but I will apply for it. The other shows around that time are like Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro. Want to just try and do some of like the bigger shows just to get in front of like bigger judges and that kind of thing to kind of end it off on that. Like I'm just kind of getting towards that finish line, and I want to make sure that like I kind of maximize the time that I have now. And when Walker was born, I prepped through like the first 6 months of his life, and it was challenging, but I just thought that like this time around, I wanted to be like as present as possible, especially with having 2. That was just really important for me, but obviously still keeping with the bodybuilding lifestyle and being able to do everything around it, and lended me to putting myself in a position to be more competitive next year anyway.
All right, so we did flat chest press for mid chest. We did incline for the upper chest. Now we're doing the Gym Code decline press, which is gonna actually, this movement is actually gonna take us up for a big stretch. It's gonna go down, and then it's gonna finish and really isolate the lower pecs. My chest is pretty fatigued right now. Something else I really keep in mind, I don't know if I mentioned, but like I really pay attention to how my chest feels. And a part of evaluating if my workout is good, the muscle pump and contraction I'm getting. So like after I perform 2 exercises, I'm trying to aim to have my chest feeling pretty full, pretty pumped up. If I'm not getting the pump or the contractions, then I might change something in the way I'm performing the exercises. I might go a little bit lighter. I might need to focus on maybe doing drop sets or just adding something else to help me get more stimulus, more blood flow. There's some techniques too if you're having a hard time like getting muscles to fire, that you can get like your nervous system to respond and activate by doing like certain iso holds. Let's say, for example, you had a hard time activating your hamstrings or biceps. So before you start your workout, you could go on a machine or even dumbbells and just get the muscle short with a weight that's relatively heavy and just hold it for like 20 seconds as hard as you can. If I'm doing that with biceps, the equivalent would be lying in a hamstring curl, curling that up and holding the contraction where it's peak contraction, the muscle's short, and holding that for 20 seconds really, really hard. And then when you release that, it sends your brain sends signals to your muscle, and it sort of speaks to it and it says like, hey, like get ready to contract and work this muscle. It turns it on, it activates it. If you're having a hard time or you have a muscle that's a weak muscle, this might be a technique that can help you create a better mind-muscle connection to get into the muscle. So you'll see when I start this movement, it brings my shoulders actually really high. This is where this machine is actually taking me. So I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna allow it to take me there. My elbows are slightly up. It's matching the profile of the handle. And then as I push, I'm gonna go down. I'm following the path of the handle and pushing through with my lower chest. Essentially just following the path of that handle with my humerus. All right, so this is the last chest workout. You know, we did flat, we did upper, we did decline. Now we're gonna finish off with a fly. I either like to start or finish with a fly movement. It's just a really great stretch, just focusing on letting everything get really nice and lengthened, and you get a good contraction. And again, just like when we're doing chest presses, we're focused on that humerus, you know, let's say the biceps, stretching out and pushing across, contract. Same idea with a fly. So think about that humerus, this arm just being, I guess you could say like, just like a passenger, it's along for the ride. So you're opening up, it's full stretch, and you're just coming across, driving these biceps together. I like to spend a little bit of time on the pec deck when I get contracted. Really focus on jamming these biceps together, get a really hard contraction. Cool thing with these Prime machines too, they have the cam system here. So you got a whole bunch of different options. I usually just focus on 1, 2, and 3. So 1, when it comes to the strength curve, it'll be normal like every machine. But then if you refer to the diagram over here, you know, if you want beginning range, so we put on a 3 up here in the cam system on both sides, what that means is more of the weight distribution will be loaded in the beginning range. So that's when you're in length. So you're really going to overemphasize more weight in that stretch, and then the cam would drop off and get lighter as you contract. Or 2, which will be the end range. So now it'll be really light when you're in length, and then as you get short, that cam the tension will change, the strength curve, and it'll get really heavy like that last 30%. So if you're trying to like overload the muscle when it gets short. So it's pretty cool, something that they offer that no other companies really have, especially when it comes to selector eyes. One other tip when you're doing the pec deck, something that I like to focus on, because there's a lot of times, like as I was learning how to train properly, where I would just focus on getting here and because you feel it, right? You get that contraction, right? When you get short, you get flexed. So something that I keep in mind is anytime during that movement, and my training partner was like, stop. You know, I could stop here, I could stop here, I could stop here. Just to prevent myself from using like momentum and kind of just throwing it to get there, right? Throwing it to get there. So that way when I'm performing the exercise, you know, at any moment when I'm in that movement, I'm aware there's tension on the muscle where like you could tell me to stop halfway, and it's like, no problem. Stop 3/4 way, no problem. Stop all the way in, no problem. You know, at any given moment, during this movement, my chest is in full control. I'm never throwing it. So something to just keep in mind if you're having a hard time stimulating your chest.
So this is one where if you have a tiny human, you can go ahead and grab the tiny human and then start the exercise. If you can't find a tiny human, probably like a 40-pound dumbbell is gonna work. Are you ready? I'm gonna do lunges with you. What? He's over it. I'll do it with Cody. Little riskier cargo this time. On point for these. If you are busy, have a really busy lifestyle, you only really need to do like 4 or 5 really good working sets. So when you come in, if you just get warm and then get right into your working sets, 4 or 5 working sets maybe take you like, you do it in 30, 45 minutes, to be honest. You just go all out on those working sets. And that way, like, you're not spending, a lot of people come in and spend their time like too many warm-ups, too much talking, messing around. Instead, you can do like 1 working set with a drop set, 1 working set with a partner to do like, push you on some force reps, or any kind of form of intensifiers to get more out of each set instead of more sets, which take longer. It's a good way to continue to improve if you have limited time in your day. All right, that's a wrap. We gotta fly. Baby's hungry, I'm hungry. Special happy birthday to Dorian Hamilton, founder of all this stuff, someone I look up to. And if you're watching this, Dorian, you're a weirdo, but we love you. Peace.
All right, guys, so that is my chest workout. Like I was saying, on that last exercise, I don't always do like the prime pec deck. Like last week, I used a Gymloco plate-loaded pec deck. Sometimes I'll pick selectorized chest press. I kind of use that 4th exercise, interchangeable. Usually keep it, switch it up, and try different machines. We have so many here. But yeah, really simple, guys. 4 different exercises targeting a different part of the chest. My rep range is usually like in that like probably average of 10 reps. You anywhere from 8 to 12 is where I'm aiming for. And I just keep things really, really simple. Maybe some more stuff at home in the kitchen or day in the life at work. You guys saw today 2 of my business partners, Adam, who's here at the gym, Pure Athletic Club, and then Blake, of course, who's my business partner with Elevate, and he's helping out with AC Muscle now. So guys, we really appreciate all your support. We really want to hear though what you guys want to see more of. So make sure down below that you guys comment, because we do read the comments, and based on what you guys are saying, it sort of gives us more inspiration to decide what we're going to do next. So guys, stay tuned until next time. Thank you.